You'll fix it in post.
Hey!
Hey.
Welcome to another episode of BlubHub Babbles.
Did you forget what to say there for a second?
I was about to say the BlubHub podcast.
Wow.
It technically is a podcast. Look, we're physical. We're really physical together. Look at that. Everywhere we go, your stomach felt weird when I touched it like that. That was the first time I ever touched you like that, so I'm not going to do that again. Unless you want me to do it again. All right, so yeah, so this is the BlubHub Babbles. I keep on wanting to say
You've
BlubHub.
introduced this podcast like 7 times now.
Now I'm going to introduce it again. And who are you?
Hi. I'm me.
And I am also me.
You're me too.
You're me, and I'm you.
No,
Let's
you're
touch
not you.
penises.
You're you. I'm me. But you're also me.
From
And
Russia,
they're
you're me. No, I'm you.
Oh, you're thinking of that. No, I'm
Yeah.
just being a douchebag.
Oh,
I don't know if douchebag is bleepable or has to be bleeped, or if we're bleeping for the podcast, but
I don't know if that's a D-bag. I think it's D-bag now. But yeah. If you put on those goggles and put it on top of your head, you would definitely look, especially where your hair looks, you would look like an anime or character that's like has those goggles the way that your hair looks, and you're like, hey, he's the mechanic in this whole place, and you always wear those giant ass clothes and have a giant wrench, and I guess everything has a lug nut on it.
You gotta always have the lug nut.
So, but yes, this is the BlubHub Babbles. The
Eighth time introducing it.
Ninth, I'd like to think. This is the BlubHub Babbles. No,
New
Year.
There's actually a point to this.
Yeah,
podcast.
but it's the new year. How was your new year? Was it great?
It's going well.
We had a little of a break. We actually got some stuff done, actually.
The break was mostly to record for BlubHub, yet strangely, it mostly benefited my channel.
Yeah, your channel's been doing pretty well.
I mostly managed to get time to do a backlog of videos for my channel, so that was nice. That's what I've been doing. We do have a little bit of a backlog for BlubHub going right now. How's your channel doing?
Terrible. I try to steal some content from you.
I know, you do that pretty often.
And if you look at it, it probably still says 4 views and 2 likes.
5.
Oh, okay.
I liked it.
I'm moving up in the ranks. You liked it. Thanks. So, but yeah.
One of those two is me.
Nice. I might get some traction then. So yeah. I recently found out a new meme.
Oh, there's a new meme?
Yeah, and it's pretty weird. I had to go on the internet and research this meme.
This is weird. Usually... I'm sorry. I'm used to when we do the podcast to be looking at your face, and you're talking. So I want to look this way.
You can look at me.
But it's weird because the camera's there. So shouldn't we look this way?
No, I mean, usually for podcasts, it's usually we're looking at each other. We're having a conversation, and then we'll look at the camera if they need me. Like, hey.
But they want to feel included. You know, gotta have that eye contact before you make it personal. But not too much eye contact now.
As a man who watched many podcasts, there's a lot changed. But you can look at my face now. Look at my face. Look at me.
I don't want to.
We don't want to bring Roger into this.
You leave Roger alone. He's a good man.
If he was a good man, he would be right here.
He is right there.
Roger,
you know he's camera shot.
Roger, come in here right now.
Roger, you don't have to listen.
Roger, if you want to
Roger, you don't have to listen to this man.
Is Roger a better man than I am?
Yes.
Roger, go fuck yourself. I said it.
Wow.
Look at him, he's crying. Not because I said
it's that. It's 2023. He's allowed to show his emotions.
Yeah. Well, we're only doing this.
So are we going to kill this bit anytime soon, or do I have
yes,
to keep
anyways. Anyways, I learned a new meme.
Yes, meme.
And
is it the dog with the long nose?
Let me do it for you. No, it is actually.
And it says, isn't it? Didn't I do it for you? Not let me do it for you. And everyone just keeps getting it wrong.
No, the original audio is like you're having sex with Miss Piggy.
I'm pretty sure it's "Didn't I Do It For You." Trust me, I've seen this meme a lot right now,
I've been too.
and I'm pretty sure I'm right. It's "Didn't I Do It For You"?
Either way, you're having sex with Miss Piggy.
Well,
Would
I
you
don't
fuck her?
care about no.
It's 2023. You don't think that she's sex positive?
I'm not into bestiality.
She's a puppet. You just so happen to be an animal.
That's still weird.
There's a thing on the internet called plushophilia. It's like
That sounds. I don't like that. That doesn't
there's
sound.
people having sex with plushes, and it's quite all right.
No.
It's 2023. Anyways, the meme it's called we found a new host, or we found, or this Waffle House has a new
Oh,
host,
okay. I've seen that one too.
and it's all over the YouTube comments, and I'm like, I never knew what it meant, as in like they're like, if it's a weird thing. Supposedly, some guy who's a streamer, he told to do all that. I guess it's supposed to end on the 31st, so it's like a monthly meme. So in my head, I thought it was pretty hilarious because we should recreate that and do a part two, like Waffle House at 3 a.m.
I think we already tried, and we're not popular enough to create a meme.
Hashtag Waffle House 3 a.m. Okay. I don't know why people knock on Waffle House. Pretty good.
I love Waffle House. Way better than IHOP, and Denny's can go fuck itself.
They already did. It's turning into some random building.
That's right, Denny's. I said that.
So, anyways, we have a new topic. I know I keep on touching you. Trying to do the Brian thing. But
these people don't even know who Brian is.
they don't know who Roger is, but Roger's out there. Anyways, our topics today is Wizards of the Coast, and also what came out yesterday. I'm coming out.
I thought you already did, or I'm sorry. It was at least very obvious.
Yeah, well,
people
Roger,
have known for a while.
Yeah, Roger told everybody.
Yeah.
So, but
it was in the group message.
He just it was right after I had sex with him. He was like, "Hey, he's is what he is." So, but yeah,
he was just trying to help you, honestly.
Would you like a cookie?
I would like a cookie. Well, what type of cookie you got in here?
They're sugar cookies.
Ooh, I'll take it.
Yeah, my grandma made sugar cookies.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
A little thin.
Yeah. Oh my god. But we're also talking about The Last of Us. And we're also talking about Wizards of the Coast. About how D&D just went to go fuck themselves.
And Hasbro.
And Hasbro mainly. Because it's not only that D&D, it also affected the Magic the Gathering cards. And
yeah.
And Yu-Gi-Oh's just looking pretty alright for me. No,
Yu-Gi-Oh was always superior. And yes, to all you Magic the Gathering players, search your feelings. You know this to be true. You're just in denial. It's alright. It's 2023. You can be accepting now. The community will accept you. Ish. You don't have to keep doing this to yourself.
Kermie. So yeah. How'd you feel about the whole Wizard of the Coast thing going on? And your own D&D world, man. To me, I think it's kind of fucked up. I know recently they sent out an apology for this whole situation.
I think any company that is driven by its community should be very careful when they do things that affects the community like that. And I mean that for like anything that's community related. I mean, like, I think that even for like YouTubers and Twitch streamers, whenever they do major changes to their own stuff, because that affects the community, it affects the response from the community. Albeit sometimes I do think, I'm going to say community again, but I've said community too many times, so it's kind of lost all meaning to me now. But I'm going to say it again. I do think there's times where communities can become toxic and
Oh
have a
no.
bad response to things that just aren't important at all. I don't think that was this it happened in this case. I do think the community kind of demanding change and getting upset. I do think that was right. Um, I am glad that they came out and did an apology. Think about like I'll use YouTube for instance. How many times has YouTube done something that fucks over everyone? Recently, with the curse word change,
Yep.
that screwed over so many people, and so many people hated it. Just like the removal of the dislike button. And what does YouTube do? They double down on it. They say no, we're going to stick with what we said, and everyone can just deal with it. So Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro could have done that exact same thing, where they could just double down, said screw you, but they've at least come out and apologized, which I think is a step in the right direction. I'm not saying it fixes things. I'm saying it's a step in the
Yeah.
right direction.
And I feel like I don't want to like post blame on Wizards of the Coast because I feel like they have upper hands like Hasbro, which but at the same time, yeah, because like that's all. Ever since I've learned about D&D, I've watched documentaries about how it brought people together, communities, the whole base thing, and everything.
I
And
was forced to play it by coworkers, and then I enjoyed it.
yeah, same here. So it was a
You were the coworker.
yeah, same here. No, I was thinking that D&D was the lowest of the low.
So was I. I was trying to hold on to a smidgen of self-respect,
Yeah.
and then I sacrificed it, and then realized, yeah, I was still a nerd anyway. So it didn't really change much.
And then I got like thousands of dollars worth of.
Yeah, now we go to a convention for it every year.
Yeah.
We've stayed in my car and your car there.
Yeah. Every year we two years in a row now, and we've we done things in that car. We woke up randomly at 3 a.m.
So before we went to bed, we had gone to Walmart, got a rotisserie chicken, some loaves of bread, some hot sauce, ate like half of it, went, all right, going to bed, passed out. Both of us simultaneously at like 2, 3 in the morning, woke up, spoke no words to one another, looked over at the chicken, proceeded to devour it with a ferocity. Like, I mean, that thing was just bone.
Yeah.
And then we just looked at each other again after doing this, went back to sleep.
Yeah.
Cookie stuck in my tooth.
I think we had a pee. I think that's the reason why.
It was just very weird that we both were just like, chicken.
Yeah. We always did that a lot now. That became a main staple is rotisserie chicken and bread.
Heck, I do that a lot now. Just for myself, I'll go to the store and I'll buy a rotisserie chicken, some bread. Fuck that shit right up.
Yeah. It's a simple meal, but it makes us feel like kings and Vikings. We need some mead with it, and boom, there we go. But yeah, those have been fun.
Those were really fun. But see, something like that, it's like I said, it's community driven. It's a game that's all about the people that play it and participate in it. And I really hope that they are able to fix this and make a suitable apology to the community and anyone that it might have affected.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to burn into the ground. Like, I don't think tabletop RPGs are going anywhere. I think the only thing that would crash and burn is just Wizards of the Coast, and I feel like Pathfinder, Warhammer, all of those other like Reaper minis. I feel like other companies would just fill in the gap.
Oh, trust me, and I'm about to fill in that gap.
Now is not the time for a promotional for your game, which is called Celestial Skies, and you should go check out Hannah's Prime Plus Squared Patreon, but now it's not the time for you to do a promotional bit in the middle of us talking about a segment.
It's definitely open book on that shit, and yeah, you're right. Check out our main channels, and you'll definitely see all that. I don't know why I'm sitting like this, but yeah. But yeah, I would think that's like the whole thing for community driven and stuff. I mean, I've seen it crash and burn for YouTube channels, and it's pretty harsh for that, and it's hard to recover from that. And
You guys should go check out my community tab on my channel. Let me know which one is superior: a fork, spork, spoon, or knife. Just wait until the flapoon comes out.
I think I chose spork when you chose for that.
Spork is actually a lot more popular than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I thought Spork was gonna get knocked out of the rounds like the second I put it up. That man has held like first and second place every time it's been there.
You must replace all your utensils with sporks now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely. I would say that this was a failed attempt to try to do something of what their part. But then again, I also believe that Hasbro kind of fucked them up on that shit. So, any final thoughts on that shit?
No.
All right, ad break. No.
I wonder if they heard me eating the cookie. Because if so, that's going to be really fun for you to try and deal with.
No, I've been messing with this mic this whole time too. So.
Oh, the audio's just flucked.
Yeah, I know, man. So, but yes, we're also going to talk about The Last of Us. That was our meat and potatoes mainly.
That is.
We gave you some. This podcast is going to be a little bit short because we're just doing some introductions.
Short. And this is about to go I'm about to talk for 4 hours. What you talking about? Okay.
Okay. First of all, I want you to know what your basis. Your like. How do you feel about it? Honest opinion.
Okay.
You're more of a fan of this.
How do I word this? So, I think as far as video game adaptation shows, this one has been the best one thus far. But I do not feel like it's as good as it could have been. And I feel like a lot of people, because I have seen a lot of people saying it's really good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all. Like I said, I think it's a very good video game adaptation, but I still think it could have been better than what it is. There's some changes that I understood why they made. There's some changes that I thought were just kind of pointless. And then there were some moments that were like amazing. Like it's just straight out of the game, like down to like the camera angle, to the way like the lines that were said. And then other times I was kind of upset that they didn't stick to what the game had.
We're gonna do spoilers, or
We'll say this. We'll cut off there. I'll stop talking and when I'll go more detail in a second, and I'll hear your opinion. And then after we've given our baseline, we'll go into spoilers, so people can hear our opinion without the spoilers first.
So yes, there will be spoilers.
We'll let you know when we get to them.
I've watched The Last of Us. I haven't played it, to be honest. I will say that I haven't played it. I've watched a bunch of people play it. I do like the storyline. I will play it actually when it comes out on PC.
I'm actually interested to play it too. I'm sure a lot of people will.
But that doesn't mean I don't like. I mean, that doesn't mean that I won't hate the story. But it's a pretty good story and everything else.
I guess I'll give this. I give it a 3.5, slightly above average.
Out of 5 or out of 10?
Out of 10. Or not out of 10, out of 5, sorry.
Out of 5.
You said out of 10, my brain was like, out of 10.
I give it a 1 out of 100.
From 1 to 5, I give it a 3.5.
It's not pretty bad.
Like I said, above average, but not amazing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are giving it 4 or 5 stars. I don't think it's a 4 or 5 star.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when I first initially watched it, the beginning was all right because it just basically talks about the virus and everything.
Yeah.
Uh, Not really much spoilers. Everyone knows about it, so which was cool. But there were some things that I was like, oh, they're gonna go for this direction. In my head, I'm like, is it really necessary? You know,
Mhm.
if it's not broken, why try to re-break
Okay.
it and then
All
fix
right.
it?
But like I said, we won't get into spoilers
You're
quite
right.
yet.
You're right.
You
Okay,
give me
so
just the baseline of what you think. Give me your 1 out of 5. What is it? What is it for you?
okay, I had a chance to rewatch it,
Okay.
digested it a little bit more.
Okay.
It holds up, like you said,
Mhm.
and I'll probably give it a 4,
Mm.
straight up 4.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm trying to look at it as an outsider,
Okay. Okay.
and yes, I may be a little bit biased to Pedro Pascal, but he doesn't remind me of Joel. That's the one thing. He doesn't remind me of Joel.
Okay, I'm gonna say this because this is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I don't blame anyone that has to do with the game, and I don't even blame the actors. I blame Hollywood itself for this. I think that they just chose the actors that they did because they were popular, not because they fit the characters. And I'm gonna be really open. I think that is my biggest flaw with it. Is I don't think that they fit the characters they're portraying. I'm not saying that they're bad actors, as I do think their acting is good. I just, and it's not that they don't even look like the characters, it's that when I hear them talk in the way that they deliver lines, I don't hear, I'll say it this way, I don't hear Ellie and I don't hear Joel, and even for some of the other characters, like I don't really hear Tess either. Like I feel like I'm looking at characters that I know are supposed to be them, but they're not.
Who do you think would play Joel if you did want an actor?
Ooh.
Because I don't want. Okay, I will say I'm not trying to put anything else. I'm not bashing Pedro Pascal. I do like him,
Yeah.
but I don't really see anyone else playing
I,
except for like I don't know. I guess it's just the way they
well,
made him, and like it's just really hard to find a character for him.
I honestly, I I'm not entirely sure. Mostly because I don't have a good list of actors off the top of my head to just start picking from.
Jack Black. Okay,
Jack Black, there we go.
Chris
That's the
Pratt. There
one.
you go.
Chris Pratt. Um, I feel like it would be kind of repetitive to say this because I think I was also had heard this like when Last of Us first came out and people were like, "Wow, if they ever made a movie of this, I would want Hugh Jackman to play Joel." I heard that a lot when like Last of Us first came out. I'm not sure if I still hold on to that one,
No,
but that's just kind of what I'm thinking, and I think that's just because of the
Logan look.
yeah, well, yeah, just because of the him, that scruffy beard look
Yeah,
that he
the
does
old
for
man Logan.
Wolverine. Well, Old Man Logan hadn't come out yet, so I think people were just doing that kind of lumberjack beard look.
Okay.
I think that's where people were getting it from. So I'm not sure if I believe that, but I'm just saying that because I know I had heard other people say that a long time ago. But I'm not entirely sure what actor I would pick. Heck, I'm not even sure if I would have gone with an A-list actor. I'm not even sure if that would have been a good call. I think they could have. I do believe they could have found good, uh,
Unknown.
either unknown or more minor
Someone who's like
actors.
in Broadway or whatever.
Yeah, I do think that there's probably an actor that would fit the character more. Same goes with Ellie. Like I said, I'm not bashing anyone's acting. I think they're good actors. I just maybe it's just because like I said, I'm trying to get past the fact that they don't look like their characters, but I'm not. It's like I think the scene that really did it for me, and this is going to be a spoiler. Well, it's not really a spoiler because everyone knows Ellie exists, and this doesn't exactly say anything. But there's a part where they tell her to count slowly to 10, and she's like 1, 2, 3. I think she gets up to like 6, and then goes "fuck you" and flips it off. And it's like that's a line that I could see Ellie in the game doing, but I'm when I saw it, it more felt like I was watching someone try to pretend to be Ellie, and it didn't
Yeah,
fit. Like it just like it was almost there, but it wasn't there.
I'm really trying not to be any biases or anything. I'm trying to really be unbiased. I'm really trying to look at it. I'm like, I really want to
Now,
see the next episode. That's
now the one thing I am interested in is because my mom and grandma, they're both watching it. They of course know nothing about the game at all. I've told them a little bit, but not enough to like bias their opinions. I don't believe so anyway. So I'm interested to see how they feel about the show and whether or not they like it
they
because
don't know anything about the game.
they know nothing about the game.
That would be kind of a nice little
So
control group.
that's my little control test right now
Okay.
that I've been going through. I got a chance to actually ask my grandmother about it. They haven't finished watching the first episode. They've watched the first half of it.
Yeah.
So I was able to ask her a little bit about what she thought about it. And as of right now, her opinion is it's okay. Now, like if to put it in summary, she was like, it's not bad. She didn't like certain bits. This will be a spoiler. She didn't like Sarah for
Gotcha.
the same reason that we didn't like Sarah. In the game, though, Sarah great. Sarah's a cool kid, but in the show, the I'm just gonna spoiler this one and then skip ahead if you don't want to hear it. In the show, Joel's watch, and in the game, Joel's watch is broken. In the game, she just buys him a new watch. You never know where she gets the money from. She just buys him a new watch and goes, "Here, happy birthday." In the show, they show her steal the money out from Joel to get his
Yeah.
watch fixed, and it just kind of really puts a sour taste in your mouth to Sarah because
Because
it's
like it made her out as a thief, and then
yeah, like I get what they were trying to do, and she even does the ha ha, it's the thought that counts, and I'm going,
you stole money. That could be
you
your rent.
stole. It's like because in the game, they seemed different in the show, but in the game, it sounds like they're not that financially stable.
Yeah.
It sounds like Joel's having to work long hours, and the work isn't the best. Well, in the show, they kind of seem like they're more financially stable. I
Maybe I
mean,
don't know.
Joel has like $100 sitting in a drawer, so I guess
But then that could be emergency money.
that's
So
true.
I feel like I don't
Yeah,
know.
either way, I found that scene extremely putting off to Sarah, and yeah, that was the big reason my grandma was like, I don't care for her. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I that I think they could have done without that. I think the show could have gone so much better and even seemed nicer had they shown her like heck, even if they showed her go and like pawn something off that she owned and then
Yeah.
take the money and buy a watch
Yeah.
like that, oh my gosh, you would have loved that kid. You're
Because
like, oh my
to be
gosh,
honest, I just don't really see the point of it. Like, why would she just do that? Might as well just like it would have been, or she would have just like saw the money, picked it up, put it back in, and just took the watch.
yeah. Then I would also think it better of her. She had a chance to steal and didn't. But in this case, I feel like that was a big thing that put me off towards Sarah, and I feel bad about that. Um,
Because it
I'll
was just
bring it up.
unnecessary.
I'm gonna bring it up because I feel like the internet's gonna bring it up.
Yeah.
How do you feel about them race changing Sarah from her in the game? She's a blonde haired, blue eyed girl.
Yeah.
In the show, she seems like I don't know the actress, the little girl, but she
I
looks
thought
like
she
she
was.
might
I thought she was that same one from Euphoria, but
and
no.
she looks like she's like maybe half white, half African American. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, she not the blonde hair, blue eye. So, do you think that that would? What do you think about that? I'll word it that way. What are your thoughts on the change?
You could do race swap for anything as long as you keep the character as
Okay,
is. Okay,
because
like the Velma show. I
I'll,
was fine with all other races that they are. They're just not acting the way they are.
yeah, and I was gonna kind of say take the same route of going. My dislike to Sarah in the show. is not because of the race. I primarily think it's just because I feel like they had her act out of character. And I know that's weird to say given that in the game Sarah's around for all of 3 minutes. But I feel like in that 3 minutes you kind of get the idea of what she's at and what she's like. And in the show,
Yeah,
they just
I
kind of
mean,
she's around for like maybe 15-20 minutes, and all you really know about her is that she steals money from her dad, and
she hates old people.
yeah, and didn't she skip school?
No, she wasn't in school.
She wasn't in school.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
She just went after school and throughout the whole thing, and then went to go big and stuff. I guess we're
yeah,
just hitting spoiler territory.
I thought we already said
Yeah.
that we
Okay.
did the
So
spoilers.
yeah. Okay. So my question is, comparing the game to the show, how faithfully did you hate, and what was
Ooh,
the things that you liked?
okay. So faithful to the game. If I were to give it on a scale of like 1 to 10, how faithful was it to the game? I would give it. If I were to say that the average game to TV show to movie is 5, if that's like in the middle, I would give it about a 7. So it keeps a lot of things that are basically word for word, scene for scene, correct. Down to like some of their gear, you'll notice that like some of the way that their gear looks almost looks like exactly like it does in the game. Um, but then there's some stuff that I thought was pointlessly changed. One big one that stuck out with me because I remember in the game, like it was like whoa, especially the first time, and then they changed it for this, and I think it was to try and recapture that whoa moment, but you knew it was going to happen either way. It just now wasn't going to happen that way. Was right after it all starts, and they're trying to get away, and in the game they get T-boned by a car,
Yeah.
and you can ask, hey, no, I was waiting for the T-bone, I was waiting for it,
It
and
alludes to it.
and it almost happens. Like they show it about to happen, and then they cut it. Like they do something. They're like another car blocks the T-bone, so it doesn't happen. So I was like, so are they not going to T-bone? But then they show an airplane crash, and a tire from the airplane flies across and takes out the car.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I think I would have preferred the T-bone. I felt like that was a pointless change
I
that added
guess
in like an extra 30 seconds of filler.
I guess it was just to show like, oh, there's fire now, and then there's explosions and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which I kind of get, but at the same time, how'd you feel in the beginning when for okay, so in my head now that I'm like really digesting it and really, I thought besides the her sizzling and everything, her knowing the neighbors, doing all that, I think it would have been fine if they kept that, but when she woke up, I really wished that they did the exact same scene from how it basically all started when she was walking
Yeah,
around.
okay. So this is another part that annoys me, is what they did with Tommy. So the Joel, she falls asleep. Joel is sitting there, and he gets a call up from Tommy going, "Hey, I'm in jail," and I'm going, "Well, in the game, that doesn't bloody happen."
Right.
So that kind of annoyed me because whatever. And then it cuts to her waking up in bed, which in the game the following happens. She wakes up from bed, if I remember right, because Tommy is calling. She answers the phone,
And it like cuts out, or
and
it's like breaking up and
yeah, and
shit.
he's just like, "Hey, Sarah, go put your dad on the phone. Stay inside." Cuts out, and then she's like, "What?" And so she goes downstairs. You have the way I see most people play, though. Hayden informed me that there's other ways to see it. You generally will turn on the TV, see some news, explosion happen, TV goes off. Downstairs, Joel runs in, closes the door, says that Jimmy next door is he is sick. Grabs the pistol from his drawer. Neighbor busts through the door. Joel kills him. Uh, they run outside as Tommy's pulling up in the truck.
Yeah.
In the show, that is not even slightly what happens. As You see her go downstairs. Does she even? She does turn on the TV, but it's just an emergency broadcast signal.
Yeah. So it kind of alludes to like the whole like, oh, it does start off with the
Yeah.
whole situation.
But then she goes,
She
and
sees the neighbor's dog.
yeah, the neighbor's dog is out there, named Mercy. Don't know why you need that information, but you have it now. She then goes over to the neighbors for some reason. Despite everything that's going on, my first thought is close, lock up, never go anywhere again.
Right.
But she goes outside, goes to the neighbor, and I feel like it was to show, oh, look, the zombies are here.
Yeah.
But I have a question, and I haven't seen anyone mention this online, and I need answers. And I forgot that I was going to ask you about this, but now's the perfect time. How the flubbernut did the old lady get the virus? Or get the fungus?
I don't know either. I
Because they
don't.
don't show that. Because they
But I
show.
think it shows a little bit because remember when she was looking through
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
TVs?
Okay,
But
but that means she was already infected and dying. But when is she infected?
yeah,
Because she's clearly homebound. She can't go anywhere.
right.
She's apparently deaf, and looks like she might to be Alzheimer.
Yeah,
And yet she gets infected somehow. And I feel like maybe that's just a slight little plot hole thing for me. But I'm going, how does, like, it would have made sense had the husband been infected. But for the old lady that just sits in the house, I thought that after I thought about it for a while, I was just going, how'd she get infected? She can't do anything. She's clearly not in the city.
yeah. I'm like he was feeding her because I remember,
Yeah, he was feeding her.
but I don't know. In my head, I'm like trying to like think about it
Yeah,
now.
there's not an answer. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's answers in the comments. But that part's bothering me right now. I think that's the biggest like plot hole I have. I'm welcome for someone to fix it and explain it to me on how it works.
What do you think of the beginning stages of them becoming a?
I thought the cool tentacle thing in the mouth. I thought that was really cool.
At first, I thought it was hair. I was like, ew. But yeah, I thought it was
I
kind of cool
thought that
too.
was kind of fitting for how I keep wanting to say virus. It's not a virus. We're gonna say virus anyway. So just deal with it. All right. But I thought it was cool to show how it spreads and the way the fungus like takes over the body,
Yeah,
and that you got to see it just kind of because I mean it's constantly growing, because that's why you get like a big old ones and the
yeah, because
clickers
it's
and
like
things like that. Is it's always
it's
just going.
mutating. Yeah,
And so I thought that was a neat way to show it starting. Now, there's one thing I want to ask you about, because I wasn't sure how I felt about it, and I thought the reasoning for changing it was it was okay, but I didn't I wasn't sure about it now that we're on the mouth thing. They removed something that's in the game. And I get why, because in real life it wouldn't work that way. But there's a lot of stuff that in TV shows doesn't work like real life. They got rid of the spores.
yeah, I forgot about that.
They've
Yeah,
completely removed spores, so you don't have the gas mask thing going on.
unless we'll see it in episode 2.
No,
But
there's actually a thing with one of the creators talking about them removing the
oh,
spores.
really?
Yeah, because he said that it wasn't fitting, and they wanted it to make sure that it spread by bite only.
Oh, that's kind of dumb now.
So,
But I mean, like that's the whole thing about mutations and stuff. I'm like, no
because
matter what.
his thing was their reasoning behind it is that if it was spores were real in the world, then it would have been airborne and everyone would have been infected and died. And I'm going, yes, real life, sure, that would have been how it worked. But again, it's a TV show.
Yeah,
So I think,
I mean, The Walking Dead. They already said that everyone's already affected.
well, I don't even mean that. I mean, it's a TV show in the way that, yeah, I get it, but they could have shown a room full of like dust and been like, oh, spores.
Yeah,
Because I thought it was just concentrated areas. And I
yeah,
get that, like, oh, well, the spores would have been everywhere. Well, I kind of always took it as a way of you could breathe it in, but if you
like a
got a
large amount.
large
Yeah,
amount in it,
yeah.
then it would infect you.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, when I saw the whole dust and stuff, I thought it was like them alluding to it and stuff.
No, yeah.
But
So there's the whole thing about them talking about the removal of spores and making sure that the bite is how it's transferred.
man, that's
And
kind of pissing
I
me off now.
I really dislike that because I always thought the spore rooms were so scary. Because when I was a kid and watching people play it and playing it myself, I was always like terrified of the idea of like, what if you bump something and your gas mask just slightly goes out of place? You're
Right.
dead. You're screwed. And I thought that was the most terrifying thing to me was it's just like the idea that that gas mask is what like kept you alive.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's gonna be something that kind of bums me out that I won't get to see like a them in a gas mask in a room full of like dense spores trying to fight zombies without their gas mask coming off.
Right. Man, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. So I was disappointed with that. I'll move on past that. Um, Another thing that bothers me is the whole Robert situation. It kind of felt like I was looking I was looking over in the Last of Us multiverse because in the game, Tess and Joel kill Robert. And this one, well, they don't. They find him dead.
Tess and Joel were a couple in the show, right?
They don't
Or was that?
show
I
that.
don't know. That was a weird power trip. That
Yeah,
was
that
weird.
was like a weird. I still don't have answers for that. Also, apparently Joel has PTSD in the show, which I guess might add some character depth
And it would make a
to
little bit
him.
more sense, but at the
But
same time, but him
I
doing
don't.
drugs and
Yeah, him doing the drugs and the heavy drinking I didn't like because in the game, I'm not saying that he didn't drink. He did drink, but he didn't get drunk and do drugs. Was he angry all the time? Yeah. Like, I mean, I felt like most of the game was him dealing with his anger, not really dealing with PTSD, though I understand why he would have it, and I do think that could fit for the show, and I am interested to see what they do with that part. But I felt like a big thing in the game was just him dealing with his anger, because he never seemed to really deal with it. He just took that anger and then became a smuggler and
yeah,
used that to like and honestly, I feel like he used that as an outlet to like kill people and steal stuff and kind of just do his own thing because what did he have to lose? The answer was nothing.
yeah,
So I was kind of put off by that. I don't feel like that's how Joel would have dealt with the situation is with drinking and whatnot. So that part kind of bummed me out that they did that, but hey, it's whatever. It's a show. They have to keep things different. They have to change things up. They wanted to show that he's struggling to cope, so I kind of took it as that is it's just evidence that he's struggling to cope.
yeah. I mean, I agree with that, and like I'm not trying to compare apples to oranges or anything because like people saying okay, for the boys, I don't think you've seen that.
I've not seen the boys.
Okay, but they said the boys TV show.
You know what? Carl Urban.
Oh yeah, I guess Carl Urban would have been great
I
too.
want him as
I
Joel.
totally forgot about that.
Yeah, hold up. I'm looking. You keep talking. I'm
Okay,
looking
so
at
for the
Carl.
boys, people always said the boys TV show is a lot more better than the comics. The comics were really deprived, everything else was so broken and everything. But yeah, they said but I mean I've also agreed with that too, but they've also taken they said they completely changed the whole thing and everything
This
else.
is Joel.
I can see that.
Yeah, or at least
He's got that scruffy face.
yeah. Uh, at least I'll word it this way. I feel like he looks more like Joel than Pedro Pascal.
He's
So
busy being a superhero.
yeah,
Killing superheroes, no I'm kidding.
yeah.
But
I can
yeah,
dream
so
though. I can dream.
but they completely taken the boys and they basically just took out. Oh, they just like restructured everything.
Well, see, I think that can be okay at times too, because like heck, they did that kind of with Invincible.
Yeah,
That doesn't follow the comic books at all. There's a lot of things that aren't like that. Like I love the Lord of the Rings movie, but there are huge changes there compared to the books. But I don't feel like they were changes that really affected things. And I kind of think that right now with Last of Us, it's kind of in this. It's like this. They can either overdo it to the point that it doesn't feel like Last of Us anymore, or they can like push it to the side where it is like Lord of the Rings, where yeah, they changed major parts of the story, but it still held the feeling of Lord of the Rings so much that it is, people look past it and still say those are great movies. And it's a fine line, it really is, because I mean, The Hobbit didn't do it.
That
So
was a hot mess.
it was. So I feel like it's a very fine line, and I hope that they keep it where it feels like Last of Us. Overall, like I said, as far as or show game adaptations, best game adaptation there's ever been,
Next to
hands
Mortal
down.
Kombat.
The first Mortal Kombat was good. The others, kind of terrible. Especially this newest Mortal Kombat. That one can literally.
You don't like that one?
I hate the new Mortal Kombat with a passion. It, that would trust me, hell, that will turn into another like 3 hours of me ranting about my love for Mortal Kombat and what they did to my boy.
So you accept the old one where people hate it?
Yeah.
Really?
The first movie. The first movie.
Is that like one of your guilty pleasures?
No.
Really?
I still don't really watch it. I don't find any of the movies good, but I think that one is the best.
It was my dad was a big fan of Mortal Kombat, so it was kind of one of the ones where it's like I enjoyed watching it because the whole family did, so it became like one of my like all time favorites too.
Yeah. No, I will say this though. Again, that Mortal Kombat's not great. The first one's still not great. It still has a whole bunch of issues with it. I'll just take its issues over the issues of the second movie and the newest movie.
If you watch like a bunch of like facts about it, it's kind of pretty interesting about like
Hmm.
it's like interesting about the whole the back story for it is like how it almost did not get made and how they had to swap out different actors in
Oh,
both
I'm
shows.
sure. But uh so again, as far as game adaptations, I think this is by far the best one that's ever happened, at least that I know of.
I mean, I've enjoyed it. Yes, they've done things to like puts a bad like taste in your
But
mouth, like
like
you
I said,
said. But it's yeah,
I feel like it's recoverable, or not even recoverable. I feel like if they keep on the road they're going right now
and we can
and
look
keep
past
that
it.
fine line, I think that it will do a good enough job to the point that what they did change won't matter. I think as long as they keep faithful to the characters, I feel like they've had moments where they just haven't kept faithful to the characters, but if they can stay faithful to the characters, I think I can look past them not looking like their characters. Like I said, I've been trying to do that, and I think I'll eventually be able to get past the point that they don't feel like their characters.
You think they're going to be a season like this? Going to be just one season, whole game, or you think it's going to have 2 seasons?
Okay, so I've thought about this. I was actually thinking about this yesterday because there's a handful of arcs in the first Last of Us game. I feel like a lot of people forget some of the story arcs, but there were quite a few big segments, and I think that they could probably get like 5 seasons out of the first game.
Wow, for the
I
first
think
game.
so. I think so because I think uh,
I know we made a joke because in the beginning it threw us for a loop. We're like, oh, this is the year
yeah,
before.
this is the year before. But no, honestly, I feel like if they do it right, I feel like spoiler alert for the show and game, Tess dies. Honestly, I think Tess, if they do it right, I think Tess will be around for the whole first season.
Wow.
I think Tess will be around for the whole season. I see her dying in the season finale.
Yeah, I can see that.
I could see that happening. Then I think
She looks
it'll.
weird though.
They all look a little odd for their
They
character.
all have uncanny valley faces.
Yeah, and that's not to say that they're not, good looking people or whatnot, but it's just they
Slap
all
some
have like
makeup on it. No,
that.
kidding.
Oh my god, hey. It's just they have like I guess trying to think of the way to say it. I don't feel like I have the vocabulary for it. They're they just don't have like standard faces. Like I guess how everyone like how everyone's supposed to look. That whole look, because heck, we don't even fit that whole how you're supposed to look. Well, they don't either. So, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing.
Have someone ever told you that you look like somebody?
Yes.
Who are the people that you look like?
It's changed throughout the years.
I got a weird combination.
And I don't know why you're asking that when there's a specific person
Yeah,
that
I
I'm
know.
very often.
That I also made a meme for.
Yeah.
I've got Jeff Goldblum and Jackie Chan. And those are way completely different people, but I
don't see either of
me
those
neither.
for you.
And I'm like, how?
Yeah, that's I guess I should say my Adam Driver. I don't think I look like him, but there was a time I had long hair, and of course everyone knows Kylo Ren and his long hair. So I feel like people would
He
just
should have been
like
the next Joel. No.
Adam Driver as Joel. That would be kind of funny. Uh, but yeah, when I had long hair, everyone, oh my god, did anyone ever tell you you look like the guy from Star Wars that plays Kylo Ren? No, never heard that a day before in my life. Heck, there was a girl that was trying to flirt with me, but she said that sentence and I instantly just clocked out. I felt bad.
Crazy.
But yeah, overall, I still think the show deserves a 3.5. I don't think it's an amazing show. Like, if I'm comparing it to like other TV shows, I think it's a 3. Like, if I'm not adding in the fact it's a game, I think the show's average at best.
I just know what I told you. I said if they're gonna make like a video game show based off the video game, at least have it like as another group or another survivor or in the beginning, and then like leave it as that, and just leave these as like stories.
See, I think that depends. Like, I do think that's an easy way to do things.
Therefore, it won't piss people off.
Like I said, I do think that's a good way of doing things, but I think they did good. I do think they did good.
I think, yeah, I mean, I agree. Like I said, I think it's because video game adaptations to movies or TV shows kind of always let people
yeah,
like
I said, they're right to me right now. They're on the knife's edge. They can either go and become like an amazing show that will be like renowned for and set like the new standard for game adaptations, or I think they'll go off, or they might go off the rails and end up in the crap pile with every other crappy game adaptation. And I hope, God, that it's a good one.
So far, I'm optimistic.
Yes.
And I can't wait for the next
Woefully
one.
optimistic.
So
we will let you know how our episode 2 goes.
Yes.
What else we have, Hannah?
That was pretty much it. I mean, cool. If you got anything else to do,
I could keep ranting on this for different things. Man, because for people that want to know, since I knew we were gonna watch the show, literally I binge watched one of my favorite YouTubers, his playthrough of the game before the show, just so it would be fresh in my mind.
Gotcha.
So
yeah. So like I said, we're trying to keep this short and sweet. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, we've gone way past that. Short and sweet was 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. We could be having it, but this is just we're
getting back into
dipping our toes back into the podcasting.
It's been a while since we've done the podcast,
especially about how this is. We might change dynamic or something like that.
Yeah,
but
I could be on that side next time.
Oh, I could be on top of him, but not like that.
No, in both ways.
I guess so. So, but we're gonna end it here.
I'm a solid I'm a top.
He might be on top of me then. Might change it up.
I like to do things like that.
So, but yes, definitely. Yeah, if you like what you saw, and if you want to see more, definitely we got some new stuff coming up too. And,
we do a lot of recording.
Is there any announcements that you want to announce or anything?
No, I know.
You got something going on with your channel?
I might.
Okay, so you're just gonna allude to that then?
I'm gonna allude to that until I know for sure that it will happen on my channel. I will keep it a mystery.
All right.
All I will say is 500.
Okay, will do. So, but yes, you want to keep on checking out more? We do have other past podcasts, some audio and everything else. So.
Some of them are good. Some of them I hosted.
Yep.
Then I lost permission.
Yep.
On my own channel.
But he's still CEO. So now he just has to sit back and relax and watch the money grow.
We're not making money. In fact, we're losing money.
Subscribe and like to make that change happen. So definitely.
Please. I can't keep affording these. The shareholders, they're angry.